بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Imagine the biggest nightclub in the heart of the Middle East, where as a tourist or a local, you can take a break from your busy day and enjoy some quality time with your friends and companions. Imagine having access to branded parties in a reclaimed exotic space, complete with VIP wristbands and curated street food experiences. And imagine all of that happening just in line with cultural sensitivities of the locals, as well as the laws of an Islamic country, while at the same time keeping up with the highest standards of the entertainment industry on an international level.
When you think about Iran, one of the last things that comes to one's mind is a country famous for its nightlife. I'm about to challenge this perception and tell you why an investment in the nightlife industry in Iran has been a life-changing one. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My name is Real Iran. I'm a Muslim entrepreneur, an Islamic futurist, and the founder of the Future Islam startup company, and I would like to tell you the story of Disco Islam.
Iran is a country of more than 80 million people, over 60% of which are under 30, highly educated, and consumption savvy. It is a country once called by Martin Sorrell of advertising giant WPP
the biggest untapped market before Mars and the Moon.
A country that after its 1979 revolution is going through another form of a revolution headed towards
the liberation of the market.
And add to all of that, a ruling government with a true commitment to pro-market economic reforms and economical policies cheered on by the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, which has put the country among the cheapest within the global labor market.
It is in the face of these facts that in our startup company Future Islam, we decided that it is time for a positive response to this Iranian dream for luxury and freedom by investing in a project which brings about both economic and political stability in the country and also sets a new tone for further international investments in the Middle East region. A project which would not only work on a financial and economical level, but one which would also be capable of competing with other successful and high-prestige cultural developmental projects in the region like the Louvre in Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia's City of Future, Neom.
Following the success that we have been enjoying in Future Islam in the past years, with projects like the Hijab Walk, Tehran's first ever Fashion Week, boosted with an AR catwalk that uses gorgeous models without actual bodies, Islam Got Talent, the Islamic Iranian version of the universally popular television talent show, and last but not least, Iran Mall, Middle East's biggest shopping mall, which is set to revolutionize retail life in Islamic Iran.
Our latest project, Disco Islam, is the culmination of all our values and efforts so far. Disco Islam is indeed a hyper-ambitious project in which the Islamic body meets the Islamic mind. It is a place where opportunity, commerce, and welfare goes hand in hand with entertainment, culture, and religion, all in a safe and secure environment. A project that mirrors the masterful expertise of the best from every corner of the world through a state-of-the-art entertainment project the country has ever seen.
Disco Islam is designed and constructed to fit perfectly with its surroundings. You might have already heard about the tragic incident of the drying of the Lake Urmia in Iran, once the second largest saltwater lake in the Middle East. A disaster which happened due to years and years of water mismanagement and incompetence of the public sector.
As a private sector company who always looks on the bright side, and with a tiny bit of help from my father-in-law, the former Iranian president, we succeeded in buying this piece of now deserted land from the Iranian government for an absolute bargain price. This derelict piece of deserted land is the site where we built up Disco Islam and in a way turned this environmental dirt into golden opportunity for business.
Discos and clubs are almost synonymous with ideas such as freedom and liberty in our world today. That's why we brought in top-notch architects from around the world to build us a replica of the Tehran's Burj-e-Azadi, the Freedom Tower.
A monument which symbolizes the liberation of the Iranian people from the tyranny of the monarchs following the 1979 revolution, now celebrating new kinds of freedom. Freedom for trade and Islamic pleasure.
Disco Islam offers two fully gender-separated dance floors on each side of the iconic tower. Clearly marked on each side, these floors are in place to make sure that any mixing between men and women are avoided, and the country's Islamic law on gender segregation remains intact.
#halal, #check.
The main tower has been decorated with spectacular elements borrowed from the riches of the Islamic and Iranian culture, revitalizing a sense of national identity, while restoring our customers' pride in being Iranian and Muslim.
This creates a sublime and serene place for people to make memorable experiences.
Scattered all over the area, there are also a number of integrated artworks made by the world's most celebrated contemporary Iranian artists, and in response to the newest Orientalist trends around the globe.
Using the beautiful Arabic calligraphy with a modern twist, these works carry positive and ethical messages in order to lift up and boost the spirit of our guests, encouraging them to do good and right.
Paying respect to its natural environment and climate, the silver fountain placed underneath the tower pumps up the remaining water from the Urmia Lake so that visitors can also fully experience the catastrophic environmental history of the site.
Disco Islam is designed to go way further than an ordinary leisure site. It also communicates with the surroundings.
Since dust storms have become a permanent condition of the region after the drying of the lake, we have skillfully incorporated this natural feature into the Disco Islam experience as well.
The fog machine at Disco Islam is more than a mere special effect. It absorbs dust from the air, turning it into a theatrical cloud, which adds to the wow factor quality of the clubbing activity.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "The key to paradise for the faithful is prayer."
At Disco Islam, we have built prayer houses which are easily accessible at any time, just to make sure that our customers can say their prayers promptly and on time, and that the right to consume leisure won't get in the way of this mandatory Islamic obligation.
The club experience is all about the becoming one of the body and the mind. It is about sweating your way beyond the binaries of sexuality and identity. How do we go about the issue of dancing in a country overseen and governed by Islamic law?
Well, let us reassure you, my friends, that your back is covered.
In Future Islam, we pride ourselves in finding creative solutions within the legal realm in order to make sure that business, pleasure, and religion meet at their sweetest spot. We have brought on board prodigies from the highest ranked Silicon Valley firms and other innovative technology companies, including Facebook's own VR team, as well as Samsung Oculus, in order to make a safe way to go around the issues of the physical body when it comes to dancing and music.
By morphing the human body into code using digital avatars, we have invented a smart way for the Muslim consumer to avoid bodily excitement at all costs, just to make sure that the right to pleasure doesn't exceed beyond the realm of halal.
Last but not least, the nightclub experience wouldn't mean a thing without music. Our team have been reaching out to the biggest players on the front line of the music technology business. IBM, Spotify, and Google, among others, have developed a bespoke AI software for us, which pulls algorithmic rules from the history of local and international music in order to spit out tunes which are
Iranian in nature, Islamic by law, and global in quality. And if you think this is already enough cool for the day, just wait and see, as there is even more waiting for you in the store.
As the natural order of things has essentially taken its toll in the region, in form of poverty, homelessness, and crime, we have invested ever more to protect the absolute right of our consumers to safety and security. Ultra-advanced killer drones, equipped with latest AI technology, are commissioned to hover around the site of Disco Islam 24/7.
Just to make sure that you can let your steam off in absolute safety and security.
Disco Islam also plays a pivotal role in contributing to the local economy of the region, as hundreds of unpaid internship opportunities are available at the site.
People can now work and learn shoulder to shoulder with drones, robots, machines, and AI forever.
You can look at these ancient deserts and see nothing but trouble. Or you can see nothing to hold you back. No restrictions, no divisions, no excuses, just endless potential for freedom and trade.
And this is why, gentlemen and ladies, that I would like to thank you all for joining me in making this Iranian Islamic brand new liberal dream to make Disco Islam a reality.